Hey Leo, welcome to your February 2019 reading with me, Laurie, and it's a pleasure to do these readings for you. This is a reading for Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. So this is going to be covering all aspects of that. I would recommend that you do look at your trilogy, so to speak, just to see what's coming through for you. I'm just going to shuffle the Druidcraft Tarot, see what's coming up for you guys. I'm doing this before the Leo full moon, which I'm sure is going to affect you because it is an eclipse and it's also a blood moon and it's a super moon, and basically you are having a big change. So let's see how this goes into February for you. As always, if you'd like a reading from me, the information as what you need to do is down below. And if you'd like the weekly readings, all you need to do is go on Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month you can get access to all my weekly readings as well. Okie dokie. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So, on this deck you have the Eight of Pentacles. Now this is the ghost card that goes and sends its energy all the way through to the top. So the Eight of Pentacles brings forward a sense of education. I think also a case of eating the same thing every day until it's refined, making sure that you build a routine, but also it may be something just like hard work. Maybe you feel like you have been hard at work, but it is something I think that is giving you this sense of fruition and change. Eight's a really good number, so I think this is kind of coming in to pay off dividends for your efforts over the last maybe year even. Now, one thing that strikes me as very interesting on these is that you do have a lot of blue, like serious amount of blue. And don't worry, I will show you. And I will also do some astrology for you too. But this is mainly for me giving a sense of your throat chakra, maybe even your third eye is going to be very important to you this month. I mean, it's always important, but it's always almost going to be very, very pinpoint for you this month. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Moon. Then we have the Chariot, the Star, and the Queen of Swords. So you have 3 major arcanas out of 6 cards. So it's almost like half and half, which is very interesting to me as a reader. And I'm sure it's going to be very interesting for you too. But we start with the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords brings you power, victory, clarity. It can also be a sword of truth. Now, I often say that this is something to do about separation. You may be telling the truth to somebody, and if they don't accept it, you just have to walk away, you know? If they can't handle what you're actually telling them, you just have to say, well, all right, I know what the reality is now. And you've been doing this dance for a while, so I'm just going to take this step away, thank you very much. So it could be that you're actually severing ties with somebody after telling them the truth. Also, with the Ace of Swords, I just feel that this is potential for you, for victory, for valiance, for being brave, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, taking the plunge. Leos are very brave anyway. So I think this is definitely going to take you on to a very positive and almost fruitful journey, because in the new moon in Aquarius, which is on the 4th of February, this is actually in your 7th house of, you know, foreign places and businesses and public, and sometimes even your spouse if you are actually coupled. But this could be saying that you just need to take a risk and kind of spread your wings a little bit. You know, you could be making your home in a foreign country, or you could be planning to travel. Either way, it's about having the understanding as to how to maneuver yourself to get what you need. It could be that you've already settled in a foreign country and you're actually figuring out how best to make that place a home and making sure that you have all the fine things done. Either way, the new moon is potential for you, and I think this is how you're going to utilize it. You're going to draw it down, you're going to make sure that you feel that power, and you're going to go with it. And I really think this is a strong element for you. Aquarius as well is always the kind of rebels of the zodiac. So with the new moon in this rebellious sort of sign, I think this is going to help you kind of do that, feel the fear and go, screw it, and just have the solutions to problems that maybe you didn't have before. And then you have the Chariot, which is really strong as well. I think Cancer had this one too. This is bringing you a sense of victory again. a self-assertion, hard control, and going, yep, and pulling the reins. So you're definitely on a charge here. You're on this movement, you're on this feeling of, right, I'm going to do this and everything else be damned. So this is really you putting your foot down and going, rolling your sleeves up and saying, okay, by such and such a date, I want to have had X, Y, Z. Maybe you want to clear out your house. Maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to tell somebody that they're stupid. You know, something that you really want to achieve. Maybe you want to get your possessions down to about 3 boxes. This seems to be a theme actually coming through, like clearing things out. But I feel for you, it's more about making things more manageable. You're not going to do it to the extreme that some other people are. And I think this is just to say that, okay, so it's easier to move. You know, so you're easier to kind of shift around and feel your way forwards. The interesting is as well that Mars is entering Taurus on the 14th, so your charge energy, your let's go energy is entering a very grounded sign. And Taurus is actually your 10th house of career. So it could be that you are putting more energy into being very practical in your career. So it could be like, right, I'm sick of doing job to job to job, or I'm sick of doing this one all the time. How can I actually apply myself in order to get somewhere different? And it could be that your research, if this is something that you're going to do, takes you to a place abroad or a different state or somewhere else. So this is actually quite a good, you know, beginning cards for your reputation, for yourself differently, and how you want to re-establish yourself maybe in your social circles and also in your hometown or wherever you live at the moment. I think it's you rebranding yourself almost. So this is a really good place to start. The Eight of Cups, you're on your way. Eight of Cups is very much about leaving something behind, but again, it's about change, same as the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, well, yeah, this one is more romantic, a little bit, so it could be that you're leaving somebody behind. It's also very emotional, so it could be that this change still affects your heart. You know, it's still a bit, oh, I don't like it. But this, if you can see, is the eclipse. This change of thought, this pattern that you're breaking, this was all possible by the eclipse in your first house. You know, this is, you know, because you kind of were looking at your path through life, which is your first house, yourself, your sense of who you are. What you found there, you may not have liked all of it. So whatever you didn't like, you're now looking to change it. You know, and that's going to be very powerful and empowering for you. But it's also going to be a little bit like, oh, you know, I'm moving away from this now. This is, you know, I'm not the same as I was maybe 2 weeks ago. So it could be a little bit saddening. But also, I think it's actually positive. You know, through each change comes a new beginning. And I think that this is really going to help you figure things out and not be so melancholy, I think is the word that I want to use. Because this is all about potential. And I think you really, even though you may be disappointed and you're moving on because of a disappointment, this is actually going to help you in the long run. And I honestly believe that. When you get the full moon in Virgo, which is on the 19th of February, this is in your second house of finances. So your finances are lighting up here. So it's something that brings you this sort of, how to put it, it brings you this sort of practicality, because Virgo is very much about saving and stuff like that. So this full moon will maybe show you how to save. It will show you how to develop yourself and make money work for you. And maybe it'll also show you where you're meant to be putting your income and what you need to be, you know, focusing on. But the star is also here to help you. So it could be that your divine path is calling, you know, your path through life, your hope, your inspiration. It could even be that you use this energy just to go on a break, a vacation, just to see what information you can get by meditating on something that's important to you. You know, I think that a lot of this is to do with how you interpret your own feelings and how you want to develop your, I don't know, your intuition. Again, intuition is coming through quite a bit because of the blues, and I think that this is something that you really want to focus on. Mars, again, being in Taurus, this is kind of your spiritual application now into your career and actually into the people who you want to hang around. You know, it could be that you're trying to figure out who you want to be with and who you want to be friends with. You may be even going to join a friend somewhere or spend time with them. Because I think it's time to jump in the deep end, but not necessarily drown. You know what I mean? There's something that you can achieve here. And I believe that this is all bringing this sense of belief back, maybe. You know? The new moon in Aquarius, in your 7th house, bringing this sense of where am I going to be? Full moon brings forwards a sense of spirituality in Virgo. Right, how can I sort out my finances? And then you sort of have this feeling of communication, I think, about the taboo when Mercury enters Pisces on the 10th. Because Pisces is your 8th house, so this is going to be about endings and career change and your maybe sexual attractiveness even. So it could be to do with you being sensual again and feeling yourself, really feeling yourself. So that I think is something that comes forwards here to you and makes you feel just that little bit more confident, I think is the word I want to use. And then we do have the moon, the biggest effect that's going to be for you in February. This is something that I think drives you. It could be that you're focusing too much on, or have focused too much on something that isn't really there. It's not really viable, It's like, I want it to be this way, but you're actually ignoring the possibilities that your dreams could even improve. I want it to be this, I want to do this. Well, maybe focusing on, for instance, I want to work for this company and this company alone. Okay, well, there may be a better company for you, and it could even give you higher money, better friends. Don't fixate on something, and don't fixate on one path, because you may miss something that's incredible on its way to you. It's kind of like learning from your past mistakes and not giving into the fear of being different is going to be crap, because it's not. And I think this person here is a very strong career person. Maybe you're thinking, I really want this wedding to be this and this and this and this and this. I want to get married in Bermuda and have 15 bridesmaids, or I want to go over here and I want to experience this. Does it have to be like that? Or can you just make your own way and feel what's right for you? This person's come through, I think, to say you can have this emotionally balanced, very quick thinking and perceptive way about you if you were able to pursue it in a sensible manner and something that you feel very drawn towards. I think this is very strong for you. This is something that builds up your energy, but also a feeling of being quite introverted as well, maybe being more mental about things. Don't get carried away with the mentality of certain things as well. So if you're kind of like, yes, I must do it now, maybe you will miss the excitement of the change that's happening around you. Maybe you'll miss something that you could have enjoyed and you could have gone down that road, Just going to do an Archangel Oracle card for you, just to see what's coming through. But I do see a big change for you, Leo. It's just a case of balancing it out. You can't go full steam ahead without losing some of that energy. So just pace yourself, I think. All right. Ooh, okay, there we go. Oh, and you want to come out too. Okay. So the first one that came out was leadership. It's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So this could be you getting into the career zone that you want to be in, or your helper zone, or whatever it is you want to do, and making sure that you set an example for others. You could be one of the leaders here with your torch and leading people forwards. And the second one is clairsentience. Have you got the same one? So notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So again, this is something that's very strong, saying that you will be guided towards this. You will have your intuition really strong. I mean, you have the star here, so it could be that this is kind of a physical need. You pay attention to your body, and when it feels like you're drained, maybe every day at a certain time when you're at this work doing a certain task, you go, oh my gosh, and that's a sign to leave, that's a sign to change. And I think that you can kind of navigate with this Chariot here. You know, you can navigate where you go and adjust the reins and adjust the course based on your feelings and your gut intentions, if that makes sense. But I do feel changes on the way for you. I do feel that you have a lot to be thankful for as well. Just kind of thank your angels, guides, whoever it is you work with, just that they're actually guiding you to the right place. But I do wish you the very best of luck this month, Leo. I really do. And do let me know in the comments below how things go for you. As always, I would love to hear from you about your day, what your plans are. But if you would like a reading to see how this is personal for you, just hit me an email down below. All the information you need as to how to get one. I now do phone readings, by the way, is in the description box, as well as how to support me in other various ways. But I will love you and leave you for now. I look forward to speaking to you in March. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.